Good morning. Welcome back to week 3 of top tips for separated parents. We're into week 3 of the lockdown, and I just want to go over a few things that may have happened at the weekend. I've got a specific feedback from a family that did actually attempt long distance contact between 3 counties, actually, so about 220 miles. So normally this family will do a halfway meet, but due to regulations and guidance, they felt at first that the contact wasn't going to go ahead face to face. But of course, also it's about, if this lockdown goes on for any longer, how then can we practically sustain just video or long distance face to face or even telephone contact? So it may not be practical. And of course, nothing can take away from the quality of good face-to-face contact with parents. So this family did, after initially considering not to do face-to-face, they did attempt this. So the feedback so far, so instead of meeting halfway, the non-resident parent drove the whole distance to collect the child. This was arranged beforehand. The timings were made. The relationship is not so bad, so it was okay to do this. Remember, please, you need to observe all safety guidelines. So, for instance, if you have any restraining orders or non-molestation orders, or you know that there's conflict if you're going to meet up, then where possible, please try and arrange a third party, if that third party lives with you in the same household, of course, observing social distancing. And also, if not, meet in a sort of public place and do a quick changeover, but don't come together if you can help it. So this family, the non-resident parent arrived and collected the child. So provisions were made in the car, because the other concern is about having to stop at service stations. So of course, meeting with other people, mixing with other people. So what they did was they had hand gel, hand wash stuff, some extra water to wash hands, towels in the car. Also had a makeshift potty just in case they didn't feel comfortable stopping for the loo for the little one. Obviously, if you've got nappies, that's fine, because you can change nappies. And of course, if you've got your hand washing equipment in the car, then that's good. So they had all of the provisions, snacks, drinks, so they didn't have to stop and get anything. They stopped off halfway for a little bit of a walk in a safe area, just so that the young one could go to the toilet, wash hands, have something to eat. And so the journey there was okay. So they pre-agreed that while the child was there, well, before they met, they agreed about checking temperatures and acknowledging if either have any symptoms. And obviously the agreement was if they did, or the household had any symptoms, then this wouldn't go ahead. So when the child got to the house, they stuck to their agreement of not going out apart from the garden, one form of exercise, so a little bike ride there and back, and not mixing with anyone out of the family. That went well. There was regular FaceTimes because the young child has other siblings at the family home. Then they had a FaceTime movie and a quiz each night, so that was good. And also, it's about the parents were working together. Now, they wouldn't normally do this, so the enrichment that had on not only the child that was not with the siblings as well. So that worked really well. And again, what they did was they agreed what time the non-resident parent was returning the child. And actually what they're doing is because they're not at school or work, then they are having a couple of extra days, which I think is also very good, just in case we don't know what's going to happen with the lockdown, or if anything should happen in the future, or if they develop symptoms. So far the feedback was very good. So the recap is, they agreed before that they would text or inform the other parent if they had any symptoms. They would check their temperatures. They would give clear guidance on the timelines of when they were going to arrive. They agreed what was going to happen when the child went, so the journey included. So the journey would be that they would pack essential items, snacks, drinks, change of clothing, warm blanket if they needed it, something for the child to go to the loo in if they couldn't stop, hand washing stuff, hand washing and water. So that was all agreed. Then the parent drove all the way down and then drove all the way back. And then they also then agreed what would happen while the child was with the other parent about the social distancing. And again, before the child left, they would take temperatures and make sure everything was okay. And again, the house where they've left the main home, everyone in the house there would check temperatures and inform if they had any symptoms. So far so good. And I really want to commend those parents actually for working together for the sake of the children. What I also want to cover today is clients have been contacting me about court applications. So now, some of you may not be too happy with the fact that the other parent is anxious about letting the child go to you. There should be no reason, if you live within the same area or a short distance, that the child should not go between the houses. And again, follow those safe guidelines as well and keep communicating. So there is no worry. But I'm afraid that the courts have said that where a parent is genuinely concerned about whether to trust the other parent to follow these guidelines to keep the child safe, then they have to exercise their parental responsibility. Parental responsibility, of course, is for both parents. If you have it, if you're on the birth certificate or you fall within that category, then again you have to observe what does that mean. So I think what it takes, the court take this to mean that where a resident parent, a primary carer, has the concerns that the child will not be kept safe, then they can stop contact, or not stop, but arrange other forms of contact. They need to show reasonably that they have tried very hard to provide that contact. So this is still a bone of contention, and further clarification still needs to come, and it is changing daily, so watch this space. Okay, so what I'm going to do as well today is I'm going to add some information and advice from the Family Law Working Group about child contact. I'm going to put this on my Instagram, a link to the page, the document, and then I'm going to cover this fully tomorrow. So if you want to read it before, please do, but it's quite a lengthy one, and I've taken the specific terms of what the children say and what the children's rights are about having a relationship with both parents. We have to think of it from the child's point of view, the beneficial, positive contact, okay? So I hope everyone has a good day. I hope you stay safe. I'm at Mediator2020. Email me, mediationforfamilies@gmail.com. Visit our websites, www.mediationmk.org.uk or www.integrum.org.uk, where you can leave contact notices and I can get back to you. I'll be placing things on my Instagram daily, and my YouTube channel is Mediator2020. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.